That may be the greatest catch I've ever seen in my life.
Alright guys, I was about to go through and record the video where I looked at the rosters y'all DM'd me on Instagram, I looked at the rosters on Twitter, and then broke them down, gave you trade suggestions, really set your lineup for you as well, and I decided to give y'all a little bit more time to get those in just because I want to give everyone a shot. So if y'all have not already, please make sure you go to either Instagram, Twitter, whatever you have. I'm going to be picking teams from both. I mean, if you want to double your chance of doing it, just make sure you do both. It doesn't really matter. DM me your team, DM me just screenshots of your roster, and also include your league size, your league settings. Really, that's going to be able to help me be a little bit more accurate in how I am grading your team, how I'm going through and implementing new strategies for you to improve your roster. But yeah, make sure you go do that. Hopefully I remember to put them on the screen. If not, I will definitely leave them in the comments below. And now the reason that we are going to record this tight end video is simply y'all loved the rest of season running back, wide receiver, and quarterback videos. So I figured might as well go through and do this at the tight end position now. And yeah, let's get into it. And let's first start it off with Travis Kelce. Now I will say, guys, I had George Kittle as our #1 tight end coming into 2020. Just absolutely devastating to see him suffer another injury. I thought that we were going to be able to really rely on him, giving us just probably double the production that we would see from the tight end 6 on any given week. And I thought that was worth significantly investing in him in the 2020 fantasy football drafts. Yet, clearly, we're not going to be able to rely on him no longer. So we are going to have to look over and just kind of claim that Travis Kelce is the #1 tight end. Not a single person or their mom would come out here and argue this, so I don't want to spend too much time on it. But I will say, guys, if you have Kelce on your roster, please do not be looking to trade him away, just as this is a tight end that is offering you a significant advantage over just a couple other players that are only 2 slots behind him. Okay, now our next tight end, I think this is also going to be close to consensus. Darren Waller comes in here at 2. Now, what Darren Waller has showed us so far in 2020 is that he has the potential any given week to go out there and to be able to drop 25 points, to be able to get 30% of his team's targets. Obviously, we rarely ever see that at the NFL now, and we are getting that right now with Darren Waller. So outside of Travis Kelce, I think the first 2 are so clear. I just don't want to spend that much time on them. With Darren Waller, he's already also gone through his bye week. Clearly, we can pencil him in being a top 5 tight end every single week despite the matchup. So here, I think we are going to have to go with Darren Waller. Okay, now here at 3, this is where we start to have some interesting conversations. I know a lot of people would want to put Rob Gronkowski here. Personally, I cannot. I am still going to go with Mark Andrews. Yes, Mark Andrews is coming off of a very bad performance against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I am bumping him down my weekly rankings this week, going up against the Indianapolis Colts. They have been great against the tight end so far in 2020, but still, if we are looking at Andrews, he is a pivotal player in an offense that we expect to be able to get a little bit better as the season goes on in the Baltimore Ravens. On top of that, he has showed us a career level of efficiency that really cannot be matched by anyone else on this list outside of Travis Kelce. So I think we do still expect Mark Andrews to come in and have that bounce back performance. Still extremely young and still a player that we are expecting to be able to progress as the year goes on. Okay, now our next tight end, I know a lot of people want this to be Gronk, but I cannot do it. We have to put TJ Hockenson here. And I know this may seem very, very aggressive to most of y'all, but I was so high on TJ Hockenson coming into the 2020 NFL season. This is a tight end that we knew had the talent in the 2019 NFL draft class. He gets drafted in the top 10. Then we see him really show some special things in his rookie season. And now in 2020, every single week, he just looks better and better. Really, the only concern with TJ Hockenson this season was that he was going to be used a little bit more as a blocking tight end because he is that elite blocker. But no, when they get to the red zone, they have been looking at getting him targets and knowing that they are not going to have Kenny Golladay in this offense for probably the next couple of weeks. I think we see the target share in the red zone usage. We have a small bump up for TJ Hockenson, which is going to raise both his floor and his ceiling. I know this is going to seem aggressive to a lot of people, but personally, I think we have to have TJ Hockenson here at 4. Okay, now let's go with our next tight end, another sophomore year tight end, Noah Fant. Noah Fant has showed us everything that we wanted to see through his first 2 years at the NFL level. Also, very similar to TJ Hockenson, seeing that bump up in target share without Kenny Golladay. We know that Noah Fant is going to have no Courtland Sutton for the rest of the year. And yes, Albert O, the rookie out of Missouri this year, has actually been showing some nice flashes. But still, I think that he goes straight back to the bench with Noah Fant coming back 100% from that ankle injury. Last week, he was really used exactly how he wanted in the offense. Yes, he actually got a touchdown vultured away from him from Albert O. I think that if he sees that touchdown, a lot more people are extremely excited about Noah Fant. It's kind of a no-brainer here for me to have him at 5. Okay, now our next tight end, I know a lot of y'all are going to have him higher than this, but we are going to put Gronk. And now Gronk, I am completely okay if you want to come out here and make the argument that he is a top 3 tight end talent in the NFL. But if we were talking purely fantasy football, I think we have to have him down here at 6. And that's because how many weapons are in that Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense? We are looking at this offense already having Mike Evans, already having Chris Godwin. Yes, Gronk has been able to produce with those weapons in the offense just because Godwin has missed a significant amount of time. Godwin is coming back in week 9. We're actually getting Antonio Brown added back into this offense. And y'all know with Antonio Brown, this is a wide receiver that I am trying to get y'all to sell because he does have a very, very low floor where we could see him washed out of the NFL in 2 weeks. But at the same time, we have to acknowledge the fact that Antonio Brown is going to get targets in games that he is active. He is going to end up taking away from Rob Gronkowski. And on top of that, this overall Tampa Bay Buccaneers team does not necessarily need to really air the ball out. They have a fantastic defense. They have a good running game. We know that they want to be run first. They want to play great defense, really control the game with the run and Tom Brady's good decision making. So here with Gronk, I really just don't think the volume is going to be there, even though he definitely has the talent. Okay, now coming in here at 7, we are going to end up putting Hunter Henry. So with Hunter Henry, I mean, he is just getting the best quarterback play of his entire NFL career, with Justin Herbert proving to be everything that the Los Angeles Chargers wanted him to be, and plus more. The only problem here with Hunter Henry is we are seeing Keenan Allen soak up so many targets in this offense that really there is not much left to be had for Hunter Henry. On top of that, we are going to get Austin Eckler coming back soon. Austin Eckler is going to be getting a significant amount of targets out of the backfield. Regardless, I think we have to look at the talent. We have to look at how productive the offense he's playing in is currently being, and we have to rank Hunter Henry in here at 7. Okay. Now, our next tight end, we're going to have Jonnu Smith. Now, with Jonnu Smith, I know he's been actually losing a ton of work to Anthony Ferksker over the past 2 weeks, but what this is telling me is that's just telling me that Jonnu Smith is not 100% healthy, because if you look at what Jonnu Smith was able to accomplish at the beginning of the NFL season, yes, I was actually telling y'all to sell him high after a couple of those massive weeks because we knew A.J. Brown was going to come back. A.J. Brown was going to get targets in this offense. Regardless, I think y'all have kind of gone too low on Jonnu Smith at this point, knowing that Jonnu Smith is going to continue to progress his way back from that injury. Jonnu Smith is playing in one of the best offenses in the entire NFL. On top of that, Jonnu Smith has showed us that he is an elite level athlete. So I think here we are going to have Jonnu Smith over some of these other players. Okay, now our next tight end, also someone that may be a little bit surprising for y'all, but it's kind of a no-brainer for me. We are going to put Dallas Goedert in here at 9. So with Dallas Goedert, yes, he's severely disappointed fantasy owners against the Dallas Cowboys in Week 8. Still, I think we can overlook this, understanding that he was not fully back from injury. And going forward, we are going to project him to be one of the main key pieces in this Philadelphia Eagles passing attack. On top of that, we know that without having Zach Ertz, then naturally we are just going to expect more targets to be available for Dallas Goedert. And this was someone that was really able to be a target vacuum in the first few weeks of the season, even when Zach Ertz was in the game. So really, I love the talent and I love the opportunity he's projected to see. We're going to have Dallas Goedert in here at 9. Okay, now our next tight end, we are going to have Hayden Hurst. Now, I know a couple of y'all are probably wondering where Jared Cook is. We'll get to him later. But here with Hayden Hurst, at this point, I'm not extremely excited about him, but I just have a very hard time ranking any of these other players ahead of him, knowing that he is getting just a good amount of looks in the red zone for the Atlanta Falcons. On top of that, they are going to be going up against tougher defenses in terms of run defenses. So I think they end up leaning a little bit more on passing the ball in the red zone. We actually are going to end up seeing him get more targets without Calvin Ridley in this week. So here, I think that we are just going to have to bump up Hayden Hurst. But if this tells you anything, this is just telling you how bad the tight end position currently is. Okay, now in here at 11, I wanted to raise him a little bit higher than this, but we're going to have him here. Austin Hooper. So with Austin Hooper, the only concern that I really have is how much work is Harrison Bryant going to end up seeing when Austin Hooper comes back, because Harrison Bryant has actually looked very good so far as a rookie. On top of this, we are seeing no Odell Beckham Jr. in this offense, so I think this offense is going to have a very hard time having that vertical threat and really being able to open up stuff underneath. Okay, now our last tight end in here at 12 is going to be Jared Cook. I know pretty much everyone else and their mom will have Jared Cook a lot higher than this in their own rankings. Personally, I just have to have him down here, knowing that Emmanuel Sanders coming into this offense, Michael Thomas coming into this offense, is going to drastically lower not only his target share, but his touchdown equity. And really, Jared Cook is a player that I want nothing to do with at this point. Okay, but thank you guys. I really hope you all enjoyed this video. I really hope you all got something from it. As always, if y'all did, please make sure you go down there, drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. It really, really helps us out. And yeah, that's all I got. I will see y'all in the live stream tonight.